Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Psychology Eats. So, what's eating you? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope this video finds you in great mental health. Y'all saw the title. Several people have asked me, not only on social media, but just in my real life too. Um, are you still practicing? Are you still a therapist? Are you still working in mental health? And it's like a two-part answer. Um, no, I am not working now as this video is being made um, in a clinic or doing therapies right now. So let me tell you the reason why. The backstory. Um, I've been working in mental health for over 30 years. I am that old. Over 30 years. And I've worked in multiple clinics in the area where I live. And so I have done hours and hours and hours of individual therapies, family therapy, group therapy, right? I've done it in the community base. I've done it in the office, combination of them both. I've worked in facilities. And so I put in the work as in, girl, spit it out. I put in the work, right? So when can we say COVID? When the pandemic hit, um, obviously we all went online. And at that time, I was supervising a program. And so went online, ended up closing the program. And at that point, I had stopped doing therapy. I was burning out from doing therapy. And so then I was doing this program. And when I felt like I was burning out, I knew I wanted to change gears in a way. And so 11 years ago, I started teaching as an adjunct professor for a few colleges. And so my intent was to, okay, then I'll just be an adjunct professor. I'll get a full-time job, and that's what I'll do. I'll still be in the field, and I'll just be, teaching about, mental health and psychology. Well, if you know the game, to be an adjunct professor and transition from an adjunct professor into a full-time position is not as easy as I thought it would be. And as a matter of fact, because I hold a master's degree, you really should be pursuing a PhD, just for anybody who's planning to do that route from adjunct to full-time and then moving forward to like administration or whatever. Sorry, y'all, I'm in a room that the lights go out if I don't move around. Hold on. So, yes. So, anyway, I had no intention on getting a PhD. I still don't, not interested, not going to do it. And so, but I still, would work as a therapist when I wasn't teaching. But then it was still like, although I'm a great therapist, I'm a good therapist, I'm a, professional therapist, and overall, my clientele enjoyed their time with me and working through whatever issues that they had. But then I was still like, it's not the same. Like, I know I want to move forward and do something else. So anyway, so then many opportunities have come up. Like, I see people in the community. So, yeah, so I see other professionals, and I know that there is still a great need for therapists, and I could get a job as a therapist in a clinic And I did go back about 6 months ago, and I was working in a clinic, and it just didn't work out. It really just reaffirmed to me like this is really just not what you want. It's I can make a separate video about just the back end of being a therapist and what not only do you need to be skilled at what you do as a therapist, you also have to understand the business side of being a therapist. But I could do a separate video on that. But just in general, where I am now, and what I would tell any other therapist, if you're at this point where you're just feeling like, can you really be effective as a therapist if you are just in a place in your life where it's like, this is probably not what I really want to do right now. Like, I've done the work. And it's like a point of feeling like you just want to move forward with something and do something else. I think, social media has been like that outlet for me to do something else, and not focus on like my real life and therapy and, all of the things that go along with that. But I made this video just to really say to people, like, even if you have a career that you initially loved and you were doing great work, it just sometimes it gets to the point where you have to really consider yourself. You got to consider yourself. And especially in the field of psychiatry and psychology and therapies, if you know that you're not in it 100% and, it's just kind of like, this is maybe not what I want to do right now, then you got to think of something else, because the clients need you to really be 100% in it. If you know what I mean, like, present for what, their needs are. So I'm not saying I'll never go back to being a therapist again. At some point, maybe I will, but right now, no. I love teaching and talking about psychology and mental health. And so that I love, I enjoy that, although the politics of being an adjunct is, I can do a separate video on that too. On the politics of behind, higher education. But at this point, I still enjoy it. And then when I'm not doing that, I like to go and be a substitute teacher sometime. That's where I'm at now, yo, look. And so I throw that in my day to day, when I feel like being around kids and, absorbing that energy, which I love, I'll do that too. I'm just kind of just floating around out here like right now. I'm thinking about actually starting some sort of business. But that's really kind of where I am. For those of you who have asked me, am I still a therapist? I'm still a therapist. I'm just not practicing right now. And that's how I'll put it. I'm a therapist. I'm just not practicing right now. And will I ever go back to practicing? No. I mean, I don't see, Freudian slip, maybe not. Damn. What I was saying is I don't do online therapy or, no. I tried it, didn't like it. I like to be in an office with the client in the same space where I am, because I like to, feed off of their energy and read their, facial expressions and affect and all of that. And I just feel like you can't do that online. And so I don't practice that way. But I still will consult. And if you look in my memberships, I do have a higher tiered membership. If you want that, I consider what I do online as consulting. If someone needs, if you're a member of the higher tier on my membership, I forget, I think it's 30 minutes a month or 2 months, something like that, where I consult. So if someone says, like, I think I have anxiety, then I'll like say, okay, well, in your area where you live, I'll do the research. You can go here. What is your insurance? What are what are your needs? What do you think? Like, I'll do consulting when it comes to mental health. Or if someone reaches out to me and it's like, my kid is really struggling in school. What should I do? Then I'll talk to them about the process of an IEP and what they need to do, or maybe a 504. So now online, that's really where what I offer is consultation when it comes to mental health. And so, yeah, that's it. That's my update on where I am as far as mental health is concerned. I'm taking care of my own mental health, actually, by just kind of doing, the things that make me happy, and also can make me some, money. Drop your questions down in the comment section if you have any questions. Bye.